Hello, Stompin Tom fans and YouTube channel watchers. Finally got the chance to interview Dave Gunning. Welcome, Dave. Thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks, Alan. How are you?
Not doing too bad. Doing too bad here in Charlottetown. I'm guessing you're at home.
Yeah, in Pictou.
Pictou, Nova Scotia. That's the
Yeah,
other end of the ferry from Wood Island, from what
yeah,
I well, which I'm sure you've been on many times.
yeah.
Um, so anyway, I just wanted to get into some stuff. Maybe some of the fans out there don't know. You played with Tom on tour.
Yep.
Did you ever play on record with him? Did you ever record with him? Or
No, I just did. I did one tour with him in 2002, playing upright bass for him.
okay, that must have been
Yeah,
a fun time.
it was. Yeah, yeah.
Experience of a lifetime.
Great opportunity. Yeah, for sure. It was amazing.
Basically, oh well, I want to kind of figure out where did your interest in music start? Like, how old were you when you're like, oh, I got to start playing the guitar or learn something?
I think I was around 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 12 or 13 when I really started getting into playing guitar, and I was playing hockey up till then. And I think I
Yeah.
must have taken a growth spurt or something, and didn't get new gear that year. I remember, so mom and dad agreed to send me to guitar lessons. So I went for a short time and learned the basics, and then just learned a lot just from playing with other people around.
What were some of your early influences when you were learning to play?
I think at that time the movie La Bamba had come out, so I was
Okay.
interested in a lot of the early 50s and 60s music. But prior to that, growing up, of course, mom and dad got sucked into joining Columbia House years ago. But we had lots of folk records, everything from Peter, Paul, and Mary to Bob Dylan to Gordon Lightfoot, and lots of music around the house to listen to.
And when did you start getting kind of serious about it? Like, when did you start going like,
It wasn't probably till university. I mean, I was playing, music, so almost every weekend. Before that, I remember when I was 15, I got my first paid gig where I was playing on Friday nights at a local restaurant for tourists, and then
hmm
following summer, that same place hired me 4 nights a week. But it wasn't really till I got to university that I started getting serious about songwriting,
hmm
and and kind of relied on music to help pay my tuition and things at the time, and rent. And when I graduated from St. Mary's with a commerce degree, I I just I've been playing music ever since. I haven't. I guess I haven't had a real job. Um, I feel lucky.
and when did you start recording?
Uh, when I was in high school, I did a feeble attempt, but I really didn't start till about 1996, 97.
hmm
And my the CD that came out around that time was called Lost Tracks. That was the first time I had been nominated for an East Coast Music Award.
Okay.
It was all kind of brand new then, and to me, I was just kind of getting going. I guess that was 1997. Yeah.
And when would your first, what would you say was your first big hit, I guess, that really got you,
Well, I
well,
don't know. As a folk singer, yeah, you don't really have hits for sure, but I would say that one of my earliest, most popular songs was probably back in the late '90s, with a song called "Here She Comes a Running,"
right.
which was sort of a Celtic-y kind of feel to it, and I was playing it in the pubs back in those days, and it was one of my first original songs that kind of had legs. And I had another one called "Time Slips Away" that people used to like a lot, and but yeah, I don't know, and lot. I would say the Two Bit World came out in 2004.
hmm
That was the first recording that put me on the map internationally. In the States or the UK,
Right.
that was the first record that I put out that got me some attention outside of the region here.
Okay. Because, yeah, Here She Comes a Running was the first one I would remember.
Yeah,
And then I remember hearing you cover Gumboot Cloggeroo by Tom
yeah,
once.
that was on a live record. We recorded it in 1998, 1999. Didn't come out till 2000, but yeah.
I'm always impressed with anyone who does a cover of the WKRP theme song and The Littlest Hobo in one. So that stuck out to me as well because those are two of my favorite TV shows of all time. So,
Yeah,
but it was good to hear someone play those songs and
yeah.
kind of. I think you called the Little Hobo an unofficial national anthem of Canada.
Yeah, yeah, it was that was a good show back in the day. I used to like watching that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're
And,
a kid, you never missed it, right? So,
yeah, bit of Canadiana for sure.
and how did I'm sure some people have heard the story about how you got connected with Tom. You want to give a brief story
Uh,
about how that happened?
JP Cormier recommended me for the job.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and so I think originally I was going to play guitar, but then when
Mm-hmm.
JP knew he was going, I ended up playing bass, and JP told him that I was a great bass player. And I had played a lot of electric bass
Right.
back at that point, but JP told him that I played upright bass, and I had never played an upright bass in my life. And I actually tried to get out of the gig because I didn't think it was fair to Tom to have to hire somebody who was just learning how to play
Right.
the upright bass. But JP wouldn't have any of that. He said, no, I wouldn't have stuck my neck out for you if I didn't know you could do it. So go buy the bass. You're the bass player. So, and that's kind of how it happened. And Tom was amazing. I remember first night meeting Tom. We were playing Scrabble, and Tommy Jr. and JP went outside of the motel room and just left me and Tom alone. And I was a bit nervous. He had the big hat on and smoking the cigarettes, drinking the Moosehead Green, and I started a bit of nervous chatter. And I remember saying to him, I'm really honored to be doing this tour with you, Tom, and I just can't thank you enough for having me. And you're one of my heroes. And now, I don't know if JP told you, but I've only been playing the upright bass for about a month, and I'm wondering, are we going to get a chance to rehearse before, any of the shows before the show tomorrow night? And Tom looked at me and said, "What? What did you just say?" And I thought he was going to fire me and send me home. And he says, "Why don't you relax and grab a beer? Listen, boy, you don't need to worry about making mistakes in my show. I'll be making more than you." So the pressure was off.
Yeah, he had a way of doing that, I guess. Eh?
Yep.
So how did you? Do you still play the upright bass at all? Like, have you?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I play it all the time. Here, I'll grab it for you. Here, it's just.
Oh, excellent. That's great.
So yeah, it's just right here.
Is that the actual bass you played?
I put it on a lot of records.
Is that the actual bass you brought on tour with you?
So
Is
I record a lot with it, and it's a beautiful beautiful instrument. Actually, I don't know if you can see this, but I'll try to hold it up. There's a signature on it. Stompin Tom signed it.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to see it. It's at the bottom there.
Yeah, I can kind of see the marker there. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It says, "Thanks for the great bass playing, Stompin Tom, 2002."
So that's the actual bass you used on the tour?
Yeah, that's the one.
Wow, it's amazing.
Yeah.
And do you play any other instruments? I mean, I know you play guitar and bass, obviously, but do you play any
I
other
play
instruments?
a little bit of drums, piano, and banjo, other stringed instruments. Like the guitar is my main thing, but
Right.
guitar and bass would be the main things that I play. But I do play other instruments on recordings.
Yeah. So you
Yeah.
have like your own recording facilities and stuff like that
Yep,
to do your
yep.
stuff?
I'm in it right now. So
Oh,
yeah,
excellent.
the control room's in there, and then this is the bigger room out here where we set up, a lot of the stuff. So yeah.
So to tour with Tom, you must have had to learn quite a few of his songs. Like how many songs would you have had to go through to get to be on tour with him?
Dozens
Like
and dozens, because we didn't know which ones he was going to play.
that? Right.
And as JP said, they sound like easy 3-chord songs, but they're not,
Yeah.
because you don't know when he's going to change chords.
Right.
But he always does it at the same time. Tom was a bit of a mathematician, so
Right.
Tom sounded ragged and random, but he wasn't. It
Yeah.
was all he had it all made sense to him.
Right.
So, he was very particular in some ways about the music, and he wanted a good band, and he appreciated everybody being tight and on the changes and
Right.
playing the right thing. And so we learned it. I studied it. Yeah.
So, learning all those songs, what are some of your favorites? Like either some of his favorite albums or songs that you learned, or
Well, I like I love the song Songbird Valley. JP and I recorded that on our two
right,
records. And I also really like The Bridge Came Tumbling Down, and Montreal by Train is a killer song.
yeah.
He has so many great songs.
I've been talking to quite a few guys that used to play in Tom's band, and I guess some of them have said some similar stuff to what you're saying. Um, I guess my biggest dream is being here in PEI. I'd love to get an assembly of as many people that played with him and do like a big tribute show up at the Stompin Tom Center sometime.
Yeah, cool.
Because I talk to Billy McInnes once in a while, and he's turned into a good friend of mine, and
Yeah,
it'd
yeah.
be neat if we could get it all together and get you,
Yeah,
JP, and
he played with Tom for a long time.
he's a
Yeah,
great fiddle
so,
player. Like
yeah, he
he's
is. Yeah,
um, but I'd love to see if we could arrange that sometime, because I think that'd be the
yeah,
best place to do it is up in Skinner's Pond and
yeah, yeah.
get all you guys together and do your interpretations of the songs you played with them over there.
Yeah, it'd be fun for sure.
Just an idea. I guess it'd be hard logistically to get everybody on the same schedule, but it would be fun.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for
So,
sure.
so you you obviously do a lot of gigs. You're a very busy touring musician. I know that much. What are your plans coming? I know you just released a new CD. I haven't got it yet. I've downloaded it, but I haven't got a physical copy yet. It's really good. I really like it a lot.
Thanks a lot. Yeah, I know. I got like a couple of shows coming up in February,
Hmm.
just locally, and then I hit the road. JP and I have a whole bunch of dates booked. We start in the States and we work our way through Ontario and then up to Western Canada,
Yeah.
and then I think we're on the road for over a month for sure. And
Yeah.
then when when we get back home, I have to drive right back to the States, and then I'm doing 2 weeks down there on my own.
Okay. Yeah.
But so yeah, it's a pretty busy winter into spring.
In the spring, and you'll probably have a busy summer. I'm guessing you've got some stuff coming
I
up
would
in the
say so.
summer.
Yeah. I don't I don't do any of my own bookings, so I
Okay.
don't necessarily know what's coming until I see it on the schedule.
Right.
But I know this summer there'll be lots of festivals
Okay.
and yeah,
Well, it's good to keep busy. It means you're working, and that's the best part, I guess.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
Lucky for sure.
um, you and JP did an album together a few
Yep.
years back. I thought it was very good. I know you did. Did you? I thought. Did you win some East Coast Music Awards for that? Because it was
We
very well
did win
received.
one, I believe. Yep.
Okay, I
Yep.
wasn't too sure. I hadn't done the research for that, but it was a great record. I loved pretty much every song you guys did on it. It was great to hear
Oh,
you
thank
guys
you.
play and sing. Would you guys ever consider doing another record together?
We're working on it right now.
Oh, really?
We're
Oh, cool.
we're almost done. Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what's is it mostly originals, or are you doing any covers on it?
Some
Or?
originals, and some covers. Maybe, yeah. I'm not sure what the split is, but half and half maybe or something. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so when you guys get that out, would you probably do some? Well, you're doing some touring this winter and the spring. Would you?
Yeah. In support of that, if
Oh, okay. So
hopefully we'll
might
have it
be
out
out.
on time.
It might be out soon then.
We hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
the
I'm looking
goal.
forward to hearing to it.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's great to hear your take on music. Like I love what you do. It's great that you basically what we're trying to do here is keep Tom's music alive, and
Yeah. Good on you.
by getting chats with guys like you and some of his former bandmates, and I even talked to Brian Edwards about a month ago.
Yeah.
I
He's a
just
gem.
Yeah, that's what we're trying to do with this fan club group is just try and keep Tom's memory alive, and
Yep.
getting chats with guys like you really helps a lot, and you seem to like to try and do that even when you guys play together. You like to crack out one of his songs when you're
Yeah.
doing your
Oh, for
shows.
sure. Yeah.
I still get a
Yeah.
kick out when you sing the PEI tourism jingle.
Yeah.
I think I'm more amazed at the people in the audience that know it word for word too. So
Oh yeah,
it must have stuck with a
that
lot of
was
people.
definitely a successful tourism ad for sure. That one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you think you'll be back in PEI again this summer?
yeah. I don't know when or where, but I'll be back there. I've played. I mean, this last summer, I think I played more in Prince Edward Island than I did anywhere.
Well, it's a big music.
Yep.
There's big music
Oh
uh,
yeah, so
industry
many
here.
music fans there, and so many great musicians there. It's
And
an incredible.
who are some of your closest acquaintances, like maritime musicians wise? I'm sure you play with a lot of guys over the years and girls and bands over the year. Who are some of your favorites?
Oh yeah, I mean, going back, like yeah, I used to hang a lot with Richard Wood and Gordon Belcher
Okay.
because we
Yep.
often played the old Dublin pub together, and of course all the other bands that were playing around there.
Right.
Then of course, um, you know, it's if and Catherine McClellan and I have become good friends over the years, of course, and Rose Cousins, another
Yep.
um, Islander. Of course, now Irish is living over there, so
Right.
and we're good pals. And the Chasins up in Surrey
Right.
are good friends, and Megan Blanchard, of course, and
Mm-hmm.
Gordy McKeegan and his Rhythm Boys there. And Gordy's actually from Pictou County originally,
Oh,
and
really?
yeah, so I knew him. I mean, he was just a little fella. I guess I was maybe a little fella too, but I'm a little bit older than him. But he used to take part in all the variety concerts and
Right.
helping for different causes that were raising money, and we often did a lot of the same shows.
Right.
But there, yeah, it's just so many great musicians over on the island. Eh? Unreal.
I should bring up. I've heard these rumors that you were good friends with George Canyon and JD Fortune.
Yeah, yeah. Um, my first time on stage playing music was with JD Fortune, who was Jason Bennison at the time. But
Right.
and he sang La Bamba, and I played guitar on it, and then I played a Buddy Holly tune. And George Canyon and I played in bands together when I was in high school. He had graduated, I think, at that point, and we always kept in touch. I went out to visit him in Alberta back in 1992, I think it was, and when George moved home in recent years, around 2003 or so,
Mm-hmm.
and then Nashville Star happened. I went to Philadelphia and I played guitar for George when he was
Mm-hmm.
auditioning for that show, and then George invited me to be a guest on his first cross Canada Christmas tour that he'd
All
ever
right.
first cross Canada tour that he'd ever done, and just after Nashville Star. And we're still good friends. I played with him this summer at Stanfest. I played guitar for him.
Oh, great.
Yeah, and we keep in touch. I don't see Jason around that much, although I think he lives in the county. But um, I think he still lives here somewhere. Um, but yeah, those guys were good friends growing up, and still keep in touch a lot with George, especially. Yeah.
I saw JD singing with Haywire a few years ago.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they did a couple of shows, I think, in down your way in Nova Scotia, and did some. He was
Okay.
filling in with Haywire,
Yeah. Right
which
on.
is
Yeah.
and that
I used
seemed
to
like
love Haywire. I remember seeing them play around the Glasgow Stadium. They played with Brighton Rock. But they were such an incredible band, unbelievable.
actually
Yeah.
funny enough. I ran into David Rashid this morning at Canadian Tire.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's a good dude, eh?
and
Yeah,
his two daughters are really talented. I don't know if you've
yeah.
seen Ava and Lily. I've seen them singing the anthem at the Charlottetown Islanders games quite a
I've
bit.
heard about them. Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Unreal.
yeah,
Yeah.
they've really started to make a name for themselves.
There's
So,
lots of great young Shane Pendergast, awesome
yep.
folk artist there, and Sam and Josh Langell. They play in a lot of bands. I grew up with their dad, Brian Langell, who's a music teacher over on the island now. He's originally
Right.
from Pictou, but
Okay.
now JD Fortune was the lead singer for a band called Bad Habit in Pictou County, which
Right.
Sam and Josh's dad he led the band. He was the band leader. His father as well. But anyway, Brian, yeah, Brian and I keep in touch as well, and Sam and Josh and those guys. Yeah, they work quite a bit with Shane, I think. Yeah,
Yep, he plays a lot on the island.
yeah,
He's got quite a big name here. Dennis
yeah.
Ellsworth as well.
Oh man, he's incredible. What a great songwriter and great dude. Yeah,
Well, we saw him in a Tragically Hip cover band at the
yeah,
Trailside here, and then we
yeah,
started getting into some of his solo stuff, and it's just incredible. What a
yeah,
talented
yeah, yeah. He's the
songwriter and
real
singer.
deal.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's really
yeah.
good. We saw you've heard of Whiskey Jack, I guess. They're friends of mine.
Yep,
They
yep.
were one of Tom's bands. They were here in Montague, I guess, just before the hurricane hit.
Oh,
Um, and they had a bass player filling in with them who plays a lot down in Halifax. He actually filled in on a last minute basis for Jan Arden when she was out in Nova Scotia.
okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know, I forgot his name, but he also plays in a Grateful Dead tribute band called Wharf Rats.
Oh yeah.
He plays the drums because they have two drummers in the band. It's actually quite incredible to watch. But
That is
he
cool.
played stand up bass with Whiskey Jack, and he didn't sound out of place at all. What a talented
Wow.
musician he is.
Yeah.
But it was a great
Awesome.
night. They're supposed to be coming back in the spring, I think. They had a
Oh
bunch of
yeah.
canceled shows because of COVID, but they're coming back in the spring,
Yeah.
which would be quite some. They're finally playing the Trailside. So
Oh good.
if you guys ever get a chance, they put on a pretty good show for Tom.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
they're really fighting the fight, trying to get Tom's music to stay alive, and I
Yeah.
really appreciate what they're doing. I think they have Billy playing with them too. Billy's been
Yep.
playing some fiddle with them, so
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
he doesn't sound out of place whatsoever.
No. Yeah.
So well, Billy doesn't sound out of place with anybody I've ever seen him play
Yeah,
with.
yeah,
So
he's a great player.
so you would
Yeah.
have played with him at Tom's memorial, I guess, as well.
Yeah, that's where I met him. I mean, I'd heard about him
Yeah,
over the years, but that was my first time getting to meet him, and we had a pretty good hang up there.
yeah,
Lots of time to kind of reflect, and we were all just hanging out together. We had a
yeah,
good jam one night in one of the rooms. I think it was JP and I. It was our room, I believe.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I was at that memorial in Peterborough.
yeah.
I just kind of felt we had to go because my mom took me to that same arena to see Tom when I was 4,
Gee,
and
wow.
I have a picture of it somewhere. It's a grainy picture, but it's still a picture. But
Yeah.
I remember because we went the night before and saw the OHL game the night before,
Oh
the
my. Yeah,
Peterborough Pete's
yeah,
game, and we decided to stay the night and see if we can get into the memorial the next day, and we did, and it was an experience I'll never get. As I'm sure it was for you too.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
like, did you guys get the request to be there? Like who would have got you guys to
Um.
come? Like obviously,
Well, when I heard Tom passed away, I was in Halifax at the East Coast Music Awards at the time,
mm-hmm,
and I got the news, and I called the house, and Lena answered the phone,
mm-hmm,
and she said, "You're coming to the funeral, dear, are you?" I said, well, I'm not sure. She said, "Well, you and JP are on the list." So Tom planned an event where and he asked you and JP if you'd play it. So
right,
we were on the list to attend the funeral, which was pretty I guess quite an honor to be on that list. It wasn't
yeah.
it was just in a funeral home. It was the first licensed funeral I ever attended. They had the beer right in the funeral home.
Wow.
You could have warm moosehead or cold moosehead. I remember
Oh,
walking
that's
into the funeral home and just the funeral directors, said that there's you have a warm or a cold one. it unreal, So everybody was sitting, during the service. You'd see people tipping them back and drinking them. Of course, they'd set them on the floor and stand up and sing the hymns or pray, bowing their heads. But people were drinking beer the whole service.
well, it's not really funny, but I mean, I met Al Widmeyer a
Yeah,
few years ago, and he told me that Tom had the hat on.
yeah,
I wonder how they did that.
yeah. I'm not sure,
'Cause
but yeah, it was sticking up high in the coffin. Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't know.
Yeah.
Must have been quite an experience though to be part of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that event was just something like I couldn't believe the guests that were on that list and some of the clips they showed and
Yeah.
just I remember meeting Tommy Hunter because I grew up in Ontario in Mississauga
Yeah.
and Tommy Hunter lived near us
Oh yeah.
and
Yep.
his two sons went to the school my dad used to work at, so
Okay.
it was kind of nice. I went down and told them that I lived in your neighborhood for years and we talked about that for a few minutes and
Yeah.
yeah, there's quite a few. Daryl Sittler lived in our neighborhood too. Back in those days, we used to see him in the
Cool.
grocery store once in a while and play street hockey with his kid. So
Wow.
those were quite a few interesting days back in
Yeah.
when Mississauga wasn't such a big city it is now. But I
Yeah.
believe
It's
that's the first
changed.
place I saw you. I saw you at the Living Arts Center in Mississauga with Matt Anderson.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And there was a harmonica player there. I think he had about 100 harmonicas with him or something like that. I
Yeah.
forgot
Mike
his name.
Stevens was his name. Yeah.
Yes, that's correct. But it was
Yeah.
I remember seeing you there, and I had no idea who Matt Anderson was, and man, was I blown away when I saw him.
Yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
I don't think he
Yeah.
stops either.
No, no. He's touring a lot. That would have been back in 2007 or something like that.
Somewhere around that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I remember wanting to see you after seeing, your video on CMT a couple of times, and
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, oh, Dave's coming to Mississauga and playing the Arts Center. I might have to go see him.
Yeah.
And then seeing Matt was just a bonus too. So it was
Yeah.
just it
Oh
was
yeah.
and then I've seen you a couple of times. I've seen you at the Moonshine in Oakville.
Oh yeah. Yep.
And those were I just love that venue. It's such an intimate. I mean, we were sitting in these beautiful wingback chairs and watching you play from the back. It was great. Like
Yeah. Yeah. It's a
it, wa-
beautiful little spot.
it wasn't like cramming into a big arena in a seat you can barely fit in. It was actually quite comfortable. So,
Yeah. Yeah. Really nice.
and I've seen JP there as well. It's a nice
Yeah.
hidden little gem for seeing live music. That's for sure.
Yep. Yep.
But anyway, thanks Dave for doing this. I really
Yeah.
appreciate you
Thank
taking
you,
the time.
Alan. Thanks a bunch.
And we hope to see you when you come back to the bright red mud soon.
Yeah. Sounds good, buddy.
Sometime.
Yeah.
Good
Keep
luck with your new
keep
recording.
keep her going.
For sure. Good luck with your recording. Say hi to JP
Yeah.
for me. Hope
Thanks.
your new record does well. I'll be looking for it. And
Yeah.
again, thanks for doing this. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah. Thanks. Thanks, Alan. Thanks, everybody.
Take care.
Yeah. You too. See ya.